Well, hello and welcome back again to River Valley Farm. Today, on this lovely wintry mix freezing crap day here, we have a problem which has been ongoing for quite some time. The manure spreader is broken, has been broken for several years apparently, and as such, I don't mind the hole in the barn. That was caused by an idiot, not weather. They haven't hauled any manure around this place, so it's just a friggin' mess. And of course, what they have is a little ground-driven, just a little ground-driven manure spreader. Can't find any name markings, maker's markings, or anything else on it. The floor is in pretty poor shape. The apron chain is in pretty poor shape. And fixing this one would be way cheaper than buying a new one, of course, so that's what we're going to try and do. We've got this beater that turns really nice and freely. This one, or rather these two on the other hand, not so much. So we're going to have to get this chain separated somehow, which I think the easiest thing to do is going to be unbolt this back beater and put this one, get this chain undone, see which one actually spins and which one doesn't. So let me get set up and we'll start on this. Alright, so put my gloves back on because it's not real warm out. Yes, right. Not exactly. Okay, be back. Alright, so now we gotta have the right size wrench. Or something similar to it anyway. There we go. Being tough. Anyway, check it out guys here. Go. Okay, so chain is removed. That turns freely. What about the other one back here? Uh-oh. Okay then, so this bearing here on this end is seized, which I find odd because that's one of the ones that actually took grease. Anyway, I wonder how lucky we'll get if that sprocket will actually come off of there. Oh well, only one way to find out. Alright, so I removed this lock bolt set screw from here, and of course naturally the thing doesn't want to just slide off, but anyway, there's a keyway right there, and it looks like it was made for a puller, but I'm not going to try and dig my puller out. I'm just going to go get a hammer and a big long punch, and we'll see what happens from there. Maybe it'll be enough to do something, we'll see. Okay, so again, the plan is we're just going to try and knock the shaft through the gear and see what happens. Maybe something, maybe nothing. If I can hit it square, that would help. Okay, I think the answer to that is nothing. So, yeah, we're getting just a little bit too much spring in this thing. Alright, so probably can't see it and I don't have a light. But anyway, this is the back side over here, the inside of that sprocket, and you can see that's old twine, and looks like there's even some wire in there that probably came out of a manure pile at one point in time. That's more than likely what has got us in a bind here and won't let it spin. So yay, now we get to do something different. What can we do here? Yeah, basically we're just going to have to get a puller out, pull that sprocket, and see what happens then. Okay, so the puller that I have will not fit in there, or it's going to have to grab it to do us any good, because there's nothing to grab here on the sprocket itself. I don't think, anyway. We can try it, I guess. But the sprocket itself is not the problem. It is what's behind the sprocket that is the problem. I'm going to quit being dumb about this real quick. Now, if any of you have never seen a puller quite like this, it is just a 2-jaw puller. But I have this nice little crossbar that goes in it to keep it from spreading the jaws. If I can make it work. Okay, so there's that. Then we have these cone-shaped washers that drop in here, and a nut. Same thing on the other side here. Cold, wet day. Could have waited to do this another day, I guess, but where would be the fun in that? Okay, so like I said, we have our fuller here, and I'm going to grab my Milwaukee Impact. Snug this up a little bit, like so, and then tighten these nuts. Tighten those nuts up like that, and then we'll see what goes first, whether it be the sprocket comes off, or the puller comes off, or something comes apart and smacks me in the head. Either way, it should be fun, right? Puller's not going to hold like that. So, I really wish I could get that puller to hook in back here. That would be the ideal thing to do. But as I've already shown, it really just doesn't fit back there at the moment anyway. So we're going to have to think about this a minute, I guess. Okay, so if all else fails, which you never know, it might. Really need to clean this bar. Anyway, get a really big pry bar and see if you can't break something. It'll either get better or it'll break, one or the other. And that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It was way easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so let me get around here where we can see something. So you can see this wad of, I hope you can see it anyway, that wad of stuff that came out of here just by turning it. So yeah, if you're one of those people that likes to leave twine on your bales when you feed them, quit doing that. It'll cause you problems later. Let me go around and grab my grease gun and pump some grease at that thing again and see if it'll take like it should, and maybe, just maybe, it'll free up and start working right. Still pretty tight at the moment. Okay, so wipe some of this excess off so we can actually find our grease fitting here. Like so. Still coming out the wrong side. Let's see if we can rotate it though. It's definitely freeing up. Definitely freeing up. Alright then. See if we can put some more grease in it. What happens then? I think my other one did. It did. I'll be damned. That's okay. Always carry a spare. Now again, the grease is still going the wrong way, but if it helps, it helps. We'll find out soon enough. Still not nearly as nice as this one up here, but it is turning. So, let's see, what do I do with my, there's the bar. Scoot you guys up here a little bit. And then if we take this bar and we hit it there someplace, up there. Hold some pressure back on the sprocket, maybe we'll get it to take it to push grease the right way. That would be a no. Oh. Alright, either way, doesn't matter, it's getting freer all the time. With a little bit of grease, we probably won't have this issue anymore. Okay, so, now, I didn't really cover this, but this back beater here is kind of really, we've got one semi-good beater basically, and the rest of them not so much. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. Probably would just be best to just take that off of there, honestly, and see what happens, because if not, we're going to have these things flinging off in the pasture and out in the garden, hay field, and whatever else. We've got way more manure here than we'll ever probably be able to spread. But we might end up taking some of it over to my mom's place. I don't know. I'll have to see how it goes. I've about got a dump truck bought. I'll have to see how that works out. Anyway, so as I mentioned earlier, the floor in this thing's not that great. If it wasn't all sprung out of shape like this is, and what have you, it'd probably be okay, but it's not, so we're gonna have to do something about that. What I've figured out is it's 41 inches from here to there, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 1x4s, take 10 1x4 pressure treated 1x4s, lay in here, put 2 bolts to every cross member on any 2 bolts in each board and every cross member down through here. I'm going to use 1/4-inch carriage bolts, and we got to do something with this chain as well, but I don't know what we're gonna exactly how we're gonna go about that. I don't really want to replace the chain because that chain is expensive, and yeah, anyway, the chain's expensive, period. So we're just gonna have to try and fix this one up for what it is worth. It would appear, I haven't counted the links, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links between bars on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. Okay, 7 links between bars. So it's just that worn, apparently, but it'll be all right. We can just load it lightly and hope for the best, kinda. Almost looks as though this thing was, well, I don't think it was really ever added on to, because the linkage and stuff is all still right. But anyway, I'll probably be back to this next weekend, because I'm sure it'll be rainy and nasty again, and it's only February, so it's really too early to do much anyway. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. And I'll get back to you sometime. Bye.